pack your things and get out of here quickly. This is a real story. A black boy sat in the classroom, but was severely reprimanded by his teacher and kicked out. The reason is that he hasn't paid the tuition yet. You are stealing knowledge from me and every other teacher. My father will pay. Pack your things and get out quickly. In Malawi, formerly Nyasaland, many people cannot afford to go to school. In the whole region, only 2% of households have electricity to use. External information reception can only be heard through the receiver. They looked at the sky and leaned on the ground to eat. The only source of income is tobacco and coffee beans. Willem can be considered lucky. His father relied on the indoor harvest to provide him with grades up to 4th grade of primary school. But this year the harvest is not good. Tuition is $80 a year. Moreover, it must be seen whether this year can grow food crops or not, because dry weather is coming. The boss who harvested tobacco and coffee beans not only arrived early, but also kept the prices low. The villagers were dissatisfied with these things, but they could not help but accept it. The normal Willem family can only eat cornmeal. Nearly all are like that. Life was very difficult. After that, Willem's hopes of going to school were almost shattered. They're all so poor. They have to be even poorer? Of course, Willem's village has welcomed the most difficult year of crop failure. To earn money, villagers cut down the big trees in front of the village and sell them. But they don't know that these big trees, for their crops, have withstood so many rains and flash floods. The drought is coming very soon. Incessant heavy rain caused flash floods. The land was flooded. Crops are all waterlogged. It is not easy to wait for the rain to stop, but it is an unceasing drought. Without trees, the soil cannot hold water. Cracked land, sunburned plants. A year later, no food crops was planted, but the food stored in the house is only enough for one family for 70 days at most. Dad goes to hoe every day to hope that crops can grow. Willem saw all. He knew going to school was impossible, but he was thirsty for knowledge, so he could only stealthily listen to lectures. After school, he went to the garbage dump in the city, looking for usable trash, used scraps. That day, Willem was in the landfill. He saw an object. He seemed to have seen the hope of the whole family. You may not believe, this boy could not have time to have meals, relying on his knowledge to change the fate of the whole village. Willem saw the light on the physics teacher's bicycle and wanted to steal it back to study at night, but discovered that the light did not use a battery. Just step on the pedal and the light will turn on. This light made Willem think, why not generate electricity to exploit the groundwater leading to the fields to irrigate crops? But there is basically no electricity here. He could only go to the landfill to see if there was any usable waste. God does not care about people. Willem found a discarded battery, a water pump, and some electrical wires. The problem is there again. He did not understand the principle of electricity generation. He went to find a teacher. The teacher just had to take him to the library to find some documents. In the dilapidated library, it is not difficult to find a book. Willem is studying on one side, researching on the other. Very quickly, he found the best way to generate electricity. Wind force generates electricity. In Malawi, the most indispensable thing is the wind, but generator equipment still takes time to do. The bad news spread in the house. The food distribution army arrived. Food is not much. Come late will not have anything to buy. Father is not at home. Mother can only let Willem go. On the way, villagers fight each other for food. In a food warehouse, the villagers crowded around, and in the house, the vagabond stole all the food that was left. The family could only rely on the food Willem brought home, 15 kilograms of food. But is this place enough to eat? The father didn't know. He could only negotiate for the whole family to eat only one meal a day and eat less. Unexpectedly the next day, her sister left only a letter with the teacher on the bicycle. DC generator. She disappeared. She said, just like that, one mouth less to eat. Willem knows generators can't wait any longer. He gathered his friends. First do an experiment. Using the collected pipe as a propeller, remove the motor and battery of the recorder. Connect the wire. Open the door. The propeller moves. The recorder actually started moving. He had been successful. But the pump to pump water needs larger generator equipment. Can Willem really succeed? A black boy holding a generator made from the wind told his father that he can use the force of the wind to generate electricity. Father half believed, half doubt. The black boy directly said, making a large generator can immediately extract groundwater from the well to irrigate crop fields. But had to borrow my father's bicycle, remove the wheel, cut off the chassis. Father was silent. He questioned his son. Every day here people starve to death. Do you think using this toy can really help people? The boy replied, I can. I have read books, so I have more knowledge than you have. The father got angry. One hand destroyed his generator. You come to help me hoe. You don't need to go to school anymore. You don't need to go to the library. But no matter how hard they try to work, the field is still dry. Still no green sprouts. The boy came to his friends to reluctantly steal his father's bicycle. But many people can't resist the aggressiveness of their father. Father defiantly thinks that just praying to God will bring them protection. At this point, the mother appeared. They had lost a lot. Parents, fields, even daughters. His defiance cannot bring good fortune to his family, but is constantly lost. Why not believe in a miracle once? father was convinced. He gave the bicycle to his son, began to mobilize the entire village together. On the empty side of the village, build a very large blower. The fan moved. The battery begins to charge. Finally, the water has flowed back. The black boy succeeded already. Excited father hugs his son. They are no longer hungry. The boy also won a slot to study in a big city to exchange and learn. This is The Boy Exploiting the Wind, adapted from a true story. In the movie, the boy seems to have succeeded in just a little while, but in reality, he spent the whole 3 years in the ridicule of others and the incomprehension of his relatives, thinking generators become reality. Not only did he save an entire village, but also an entire city or country.